Hey there, Pisces. This is a reading for the Pisces Collective. It's a love reading, timeless. So whenever you see it is when you're meant to see it. If this doesn't resonate, check out your moon and rising and even Venus sign videos. And if none of those resonate, check out any of the other really amazing, talented readers here on YouTube. So let's see here. We've got Pisces, reading for Pisces. Now these are love readings, but typically for my love readings, I don't like to limit it just to romantic readings. Typically, I like to leave these open to interpretation as far as, they can include family, they can include friends, they can include coworker relationships. It doesn't have to just be love relationships, but whoever the person is that's at the top of your mind, sometimes even singles messages come through as well. That's how you should interpret this and read this. So I'm just going to do one more quick shuffle. And we're going to get right to it here. This is for the Pisces Collective. Ton of Piscean people out there. I feel like one more split, maybe. Nope. We're going to go for it. All right. So, interesting. All right. So Pisces, the card that comes up for you and the energy that you're putting out in this connection is the Justice card. So I feel like you are, this is sort of a upper echelon of the Six of Discs that also came up. But I feel like you are looking at a partnership or relationship in very clear, crystalline terms. You're looking at partnerships in terms of the equal give and take and fairness and of course justice. But what's fair, what's right, what's just, what's balanced. And I feel like if you have been in a partnership, you may be wanting to take things to an official level. You may be wanting to level up, either be exclusive or maybe get married or something like that, or move in together, sign a lease, buy a house, those kinds of things. But I feel like there's definitely a sense of wanting to make things official. For those of you in a partnership, or for those of you who have recently met somebody. In your environment, we have the Knight of Swords. So I feel like if you've got a person in mind, May 11th through June 10th may be an important factor here as well. Time-wise, you may have met this person during that time. Or they may be an air sign. We could have an Aquarius, Libra, Gemini. But this person is maybe a little chilly with their emotions. They may not be as demonstrative as you, and so maybe you feel the need with the Justice card to pull back a little bit, and exactly as how demonstrative you are. Maybe you feel like, oh well, if they're not going to be as showy with their emotions as I want to be, then maybe I won't demonstrate that either. So I feel like you want things to be balanced. You want things to be fair, and I feel like you are commitment minded, Pisces, and you really want to have things be, if you are going to be in a committed relationship, have things be equal. And so this person does not feel like they are the most demonstrative, but that doesn't mean that they don't care. They just I feel have their mind in other places. And the reason I say that is what you're not seeing about them is the Eight of Discs. This could be a Virgo you're dealing with here as well, Sun and Virgo for this card. But they could just have their mind on work. They could be, especially with everything going on in the world right now, they could be looking for work or building their business, or, just working on themselves, and maybe they're not as focused on building a relationship or making things stable or just with you as they are just trying to keep their head above water and stay afloat. They may be really mired in the details of that. Reading a lot, writing a lot, communicating a lot. Now, what's possible here? Victory. So I feel like confidence really turns the tides here, but August 2 through August 11 may be an important time frame as well. But what's possible here? Victory. I feel like you can find the kind of um, equal give and take relationship that you want. Absolutely. It may not be with this person. I'm not saying, that it has to be with this person. But what I am saying is that you can find what you're looking for. It may be with them as well. It's just, I feel like for them right now, with their focus being on work, they may not be able to offer you at this moment what you're looking for. What stands in the way? Again, Knight of Discs. So we've got two knights. These are actually the kings in this deck. But we've got two knights here, so these may be older air or earth sign. I'm getting a lot of air and a lot of earth in this spread. That's a tiny bit of fire, but no water really at all. I guess I have one water card, but so what stands in the way, I believe, is kind of this other person. This other person really, like, I feel like it's up to them to accelerate things. It's up to them to say, I'm going to give you more now. Now I'm not going to focus as much on work. I'm going to focus on making this happen with you, having this partnership with you. This could also be, you need to get your financial house in order. You need to get your life in order, your, physical life in order. A lot of folks are, unemployed, especially in the United States. So, if you're unemployed, you may feel like, I don't have much to give right now, and I can't really, offer what I would like to normally offer in this situation. So, that you may be in your own way as well. But honestly, if I were to guess, I would say it's more than likely your person who's holding things back from progressing in the way that you might like, and having things be even and fair. So what you can do to break through this, if you're holding on to something from the past, this 5 of Cups, you need to let it go. You need to process your pain and your suffering, because I feel like the emotional issues you have are also something that's holding this person back from dedicating their time and energy to you. If you've recently suffered a loss, or if you're coming off of a breakup or something like that, this person may not want to invest fully with you. If you're already in a committed partnership and you're just not getting the kind of attention that you want from this person, you may have to accept that at this point they're just not able to do it because of what's going on in the rest of their life, and that it's not a rebuke of you as a partner so much as it is just them just trying to stay afloat for both of you, but also for themselves. So I feel like there's just a real need to accept a loss here and move forward with what remains. So if you are in a committed partnership, you may say, well, if my partner is unable to go out on the weekends with me to, do fun things, so maybe I'll go spend that time with my friends or my family instead, and give them the time they need to catch up on work or sleep, or, give them the alone time and the space they need. That may have to be your approach for now, and just kind of accept the loss of some of that fun free time that you would be spending with that person, and move on, in another way with yourself, and find a way to make yourself happy. For those of you that are, have met somebody, but it's not quite a solid, stable, crystallized connection yet, this may be saying, maybe this isn't the right time, maybe this isn't the right person, and maybe what your best bet is to do is kind of cut your losses and move on, because they're too focused on work. They're not maybe going to come around for a while, and they're a direct opposition to, the victory and the balance that you're hoping to achieve in your romantic life. And more to that point, what it will look like when it happens. Ooh, 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 6 of Discs. So sometimes when we walk away from people, they realize what they lost, and they miss us more. But sometimes when we walk away from other people, we realize how many more options there are out there. And there may be an option out there that you have not yet considered, with somebody who can give you the equal balanced relationship that you want. This is a card about equal give and take. And so that, to me, is what the real victory is for you. The real victory for you is finding a partnership that is an equal amount of give and take. I feel like, Pisces, you are the kind of person who really can give so much in relationships. You have so much to offer. And, on an emotional level, on a practical level, as a support, you have tons to offer, and you deserve somebody who can offer you that in turn. And so, I feel like that's going to be the victory, is seeing your own value and your own, that I think is the title of this video, but seeing your own value is the victory, and recognizing that you deserve as much as you give. Um, so if you're in a committed partnership and you're not anywhere near leaving, it may just be that you deserve as much as you give, and maybe you have to get some of that emotional support from somebody other than your partner at this point. And not saying go cheat on your partner. I'm not saying that at all. But what I am saying is, maybe you go find a friend or family member that you want to go visit with and spend time with, on the weekends, or in your free time, so that you feel supported and that you feel like you're getting what you need, and you're also allowing your partner the space they need to process their own things. So a couple of good messages for both singles and people who are coupled here. For how this will affect the rest of your life, the Hierophant. Again, there's this real drive toward commitment. I really get the sense of commitment. Now, if you're in a committed partnership, I feel like the more you learn how to give your partner space and freedom, and the more you learn how to satisfy your own needs emotionally outside of the relationship and not put too much pressure on that relationship, the more your relationship grows and becomes stabilized, because now your partner knows that they're not letting you down if they're just taking care of themselves for a little bit while they get things together. They don't feel like you're, like they're a disappointment to you because they're struggling. They feel supported and allowed to struggle, but also supported in that when they're at the end of the day, you're still there for them. For those of you who are single and looking, and maybe this connection isn't working out the way that you want, I feel like you will be able to date with purpose a little bit more clearly. You'll have a clearer sense of purpose in your relationships, when you recognize that you deserve as much as you give. So when you go to date somebody new, you start to gauge, okay, if I put one foot forward, are they putting one forward too? If not, then I'm just gonna maybe take a step back. What if they do put one forward? Well, then I'll put another foot forward. Are they putting a foot forward? Okay, cool. We can keep doing this, walking toward each other. It's that's the dance, and that's how you create that stability. And I feel like once you figure that piece out, it's kind of like the rest of your life kind of falls into place in a certain way, because that lesson about how much to give and how much you don't want to give, and how much is too much, all of that equal give and take, that lesson of balance applies in business, applies in familial relationships, it applies all across the board. So I feel like the Hierophant is saying, taking a more traditional approach, and a more balanced approach, finding that balance in your relationships allows you to build structure and allows you to feel supported in a traditional, safe way in other aspects of your life as well. You could also, I don't know, I'm hearing promotion, leveling up kind of a vibe too, that sort of once you see what your worth is in this context, in a relationship context, and this could be a work relationship, this whole spread of resonates with you about, for some of you, it may very well be that once you see your worth, you may be able to get a promotion or a raise. So recognizing what you bring to the table, if it's a job, maybe saying, hey, I was responsible for, this increase in profits. I helped us, navigate this problem, and da da da. And I think it's time that I get a raise. And, and just being in that kind of a place will allow you to level up. So as your advice card, outcome advice, I have the Five of Wands. I've been getting this card a lot lately in the collective readings, especially today. And I feel like for a lot of you, if you are in a committed partnership, your partner could really use some lighthearted frivolity more than anything else. So I think you may have to accept that they might not be as available as you would like all the time, but that doesn't mean that you can't find fun ways to cheer them up, and that doesn't mean that you can't find fun ways to connect, even if it's just really short, short little conversations, or a little hug, here and there. Those kinds of things can really go a long way. And flirting, just bringing back a sense of flirtation and fun to your relationship, I feel like for a lot of you can really revive things if they've kind of gotten stale and very work focused and very stressful. And for those of you who are single and maybe this thing, this relationship isn't quite working out the way you had hoped it would, flirtation may kind of shift that focus with that person, but also keeping your options open and recognizing that there are lots of people who would be fighting to get next to you. So you do have options. You're not limited to one person. If you're not in a stable, committed relationship with this person and they're not giving you what you want, you can accept and cut your losses and move on and find something better. So and find somebody who does want to flirt, who does want to hang out, who does want to do fun things and make you smile. I mean, that's what it's all about. So I'm going to pull a messenger oracle for you today, and that will wrap up the reading here. If this resonated, definitely hit the like button, subscribe, and you can write a comment below. I always love to see if these things resonate. And I do also offer personal readings. All the information is in the box below. So our oracle reading here, our oracle card is change is unavoidable. All right. Let's see if it'll focus here. Change is unavoidable. There we go. So this is just saying the only thing constant in life is change. So if you're in a cycle with your partner where they are buried in their work, or they're just not giving you, giving to you on the emotional level that you want, recognize that change is bound to happen. And if it's a situation where you're kind of 1 foot out the door because you don't feel like your feelings and your efforts are being reciprocated in kind, change is unavoidable. And as we change and as we grow and as we get new connections and new relationships, we get better at figuring out what we do want. They say about that, all the things that you don't want just show you more clearly what you do want. So I hope that resonated, and I will plan to see you next time.